Hi there, and welcome to Get Good. In this video, we're going to be learning all about bounce lights and how you can use this knowledge to improve your non-metallic metal NMM gold in your painting. Ready? Let's dive into it. For this tutorial, we're going to be going back to our nice and easy Space Marine shoulder pad to talk about the key themes and what you really need to know. I must admit that bounce lights and secondary reflections were things that quite confused me when I first started painting. But as you begin to understand the physics at play, what light's doing, it becomes a lot easier to paint because you can use that in understanding across the board. Now, in this picture, you can see we have this gold trim ultramarine shoulder pad and a singular source of light. This can be viewed as the sun, essentially, the brightest light in our scene, which is causing that nice area of high value. That's our main reflection. But what this metal lacks at the moment is any sort of bounce and secondary reflections, so let's add those in. Here we've added our world reflections in, basically. So in terms of you understanding this, metals reflect the world that they sit in, and by adding all these lights we've situated this shoulder pad within a world. It's why everything's got brighter as well, because the main source of light has hit all these objects in the environment and they've been reflected in the metal as we look at it. Now, for me, there are two key things I take away from an image like this in terms of referencing it in my painting. The first is that there is no reflection that's higher value than the main reflection. That main reflection is still essentially close to white, and everything else, while brighter, is not near that high value. And the second thing is that the colours of the bounce light, as I look at it on the bottom edge of the shoulder pad, is not the same colour as that of the main reflection, and we can use this then to make our painting look more realistic and achieve a better result. Personally though, for me, I like understanding this, not just being told some information and having to use it. And so on the image here, what I've done is I've arrayed an array of these coloured balls to represent what happens to certain colours as they hit this gold trim. And you can see a number of interesting things. Number one, the green is essentially maintained. It keeps that lovely green hue. The blues though lose saturation. Indeed, the lighter blue actually edges towards green in the spectrum. The red is maintained, and the dark blue ball at the top, again, a bit more desaturated. And basically what's happening is that only certain spectrums are being reflected by that gold trim. Now, this is why that bottom area of the trim is slightly more orange in hue, because it's reflecting the ground, which has a different colour from the sun, obviously, which essentially helps more of that slight orange hue within the gold stand out. And that's what we can do in our painting. Before we get on to the painting part of the video, I did want to leave this here for reference for some people, because it shows how different primary colours are reflected by different metallics. And you can see the difference between steel in the middle to gold in the top left, bronze in the bottom right. How certain colours are desaturated, certain colours are muted, essentially turned black, and others keep a lot of their original hue and value. This is really useful when we're thinking about painting the environment. So let me walk you through how I would paint this step by step on a Space Marine shoulder pad. I'm going to essentially be looking to almost copy the reference that I created earlier in Blender. So here I'm just starting with a base coat of Afro Shadow by AK Interactive. You could also very easily use Rhinoxide or something similar, just a nice dark brown. Now for this next phase, I have two paints that I'm going to use. The first, which is on the main highlight area, essentially the vertically facing part of the shoulder pad, I'm using AK Interactive British Khaki. It's a nice ochre colour and a good base for gold. Then on my wet palette, I also have some of that British Khaki mixed with deep orange, which I'm going to put now here on the bottom section, and you can see that hue is ever so slightly different. That's the first layer of the bounce that we're going to put in along the bottom. So I've got British Khaki in the main, and then that small bit of British Khaki mixed with AK Interactive Deep Orange. I also take the British Khaki over the top of the shoulder pad because I know that's where the skylight will be hitting the shoulder pad and essentially giving it a bit more shine. It's really important that that bounce area shows a different hue, so don't be afraid to go over it again with that main plus orange mix to really show that bounce looks and feels different. If I was using Games Workshop paints here, I'd probably opt for something like XV88 and Troll Slayer Orange. As always, I've cut out me waiting for paint to dry because it's not very interesting, but here we're going up in value again, this time with AK Japanese Brown. It's a really nice ochre colour, slightly higher in value, and really helps us sell in that main reflection. So it's the same principle. I'm going to use the Japanese brown on the vertical strip for the main highlight, and then along that bottom rung I'm going to use that same Japanese brown mixed with that deep orange just to shift the hue of it to make it more suitable as a bounce light. And here's that different paint mix now going onto the model in that bounce light area, just upping the value, keeping it within that slightly orange hue. Then we step up the value again. Here I'm just using AK Ochre, higher value, still within that same hue, to bump up the shine on that main highlight. And then within the bounce area, that same ochre mixed with a little bit of deep orange. Now, because I don't want my bounce light to go too high value, this will probably be near enough where I stop adding too much value. I'll add a little bit of shine at the end, but I don't want my bounce light to overwhelm my main highlight. So while the bounce light is pretty much locked in value, I'm still going to push the value on the main highlight because it really needs to shine out. This is metallics after all. And so here I'm using ochre and ivory mixed together in about a 50-50 ratio to keep within the hue, but push that shine up to where I think it should be. And after looking at the shoulder pad, I did decide I wanted to push the bounce light a little bit more, so I took that same ochre ivory mix, added a little bit of deep orange to it, and just put that right in the center of the bounce light to give it a bit more feel. And that's the initial basics of the effect essentially done. We have a nice obvious main highlight and a bounce light that is in a slightly different hue and gives the gold that just bit more depth, a bit more realism that I think can really sell the effect on certain bits of non-metallics. And then just through a real quick and dirty edge highlight. It's a bit rough, I'm sorry about that, but I like to keep these tutorial videos short. This in total is about 10 minutes of painting, and you can see it's a nice non-metallic effect that I could refine further to smooth out those blends and really complete the effect. And that though is it. I hope this has been a good starting point for you if you're maybe looking to see what you can do to improve your non-metallic metal and get a slightly more realistic effect. As always, if you like this content, do consider subscribing to us, and if you'd like to see more in-depth tutorials from Maunus, now Golden Demon winner, you can check out our Patreon, which is linked within the YouTube. For now though, that's it. Have a good day and enjoy your painting. Bye bye.